Alright, everyone, here's what you've been waiting for, the final part of my Parties Are For Losers series, covering the Season 1 finale, The Mill. But before we get into this, I've got some stuff to say. First, this is the thing I want to make most clear, I don't think I'm going to be making videos for the songs past The Mill. Though I really enjoy the songs, and I probably would want to make some videos about them eventually, I would rather take some time to make some other content first, since making this series has been more than a little bit stressful. I might revisit it whenever Fairy makes an official Season 2 playlist on her Spotify, so I know I'm getting all the context I need for, like, an analysis and everything. But until then, you can expect some more casual content, probably centered around the games I'm playing. Maybe I'll make another Rivals video or something. Or I might start streaming on Twitch or something if people are interested. But I don't want to leave you all hanging, so I'm here to finish Season 1 of the series. And without further ado, let's get into The Mill. The song starts with Olga. Olga. I even wrote down the pronunciation this time, so no need to call me a caveman in the comments. She's with a new character named Nikita and our boy Yuri. Without needing to read into the explanatory document, we can guess that this is what Yuri was leaving for, and with the next cut we can see that it's also what Sergei was training him for. The first verse of lyrics is paired with a flashback to Sergei giving instructions to Yuri, giving advice on entering the zone, saying that as long as he's calm and collected, he'll be fine, and more specifically, that he won't need a gun. We then cut to the present day, with Olga and the gang going through the zone. We see that the lyrics lose their quotes, so it implies that Olga is the actual point of view character, and not the first character we see speaking, Sergei. And further implies that she might be repeating the same warnings to Yuri during the actual journey. We transition into a monologue from Olga. She seems to be talking about her discomfort with the zone, commenting on her head feeling heavy in the rusty air, as well as the stress from Yuri's earnest words that show his unfamiliarity with the zone. I think we're going to come back to this one. There's some weird shit in the song, okay, one second. Cut to a scene in full monochrome, with a man standing in front of scrolling text. It's not entirely clear what this is, just through context clues. But if you do some digging into Fairy socials in the lore doc, you'll see that this man is Nikita when he was young, and the woman it cuts to is Olga. The Russian text, that is translated to English in the closed captions, reminisces about the pink light of sunrise, just as distant as when they were children, and the smoky visuals coming from their bodies reflect the scar on current Nikita's neck, and the eye Olga always has covered, implying some hidden injury. When we return to the current day, we see the three exploring the zone, using a bolt tied to cloth to test the ground ahead of them. This is also something done in both the Stalker games and the Stalker novel and the Stalker movie and the Roadside Picnic novel, as well as commenting on the strange things they see, namely a helicopter that seems to be suspended in the air. And it's not until this point that I realized something incredibly important about the song, both in scripting and in watching the video for scripting. That each color and style of text seems to be a different person speaking. At first I thought it was just, like, the way they're feeling or something, just to change how the song looks or whatever. But the first line of text in the song, the quoted white text, is either Olga directly quoting Sergei or Sergei speaking himself. Plain white text is Olga herself. And what I realized at this point is that the black text, both English and Russian, seems to be Nikita speaking. This may just be me grasping at straws, and maybe the only time where Nikita actually speaks is when the vocals cut away. But I don't think that's the case. This assumption can reframe the entire song in such interesting ways. I won't go into each and every line, you can do that yourself if you want to. But this recontextualization means that almost every verse I've covered up to now is actually a very interesting dialogue between Olga and Nikita, with Nikita commenting on Olga's sensitivity and inexperience many, many times. What I once thought was some insecurity or nervousness from Olga actually becomes this very interesting discussion between the two characters. But let's get back to where we left off. Nikita is talking to Yuri. He starts talking about how Olga has no talent, squeezing in a little sexist comment there to justify it. And Yuri's response, in a new text color might I add, seems to imply that Nikita is not just talking about talent as a general term, and may actually be talking about the abilities of a stalker to naturally navigate the zone. After Nikita's comments, we get another zone montage, with visuals showing us that the group has found some kind of special item, a faintly glowing cube, that is paired with another flashback where the implied injuries on Olga and Nikita are now shown much less subtly. The lyrics are mostly Nikita talking about Olga more, saying how she's the visionless bleeding the blind. This being both a joke in poor taste about her losing an eye and a candid reveal that no matter how much he talks about her being a poor stalker, him and his broken moral compass is somehow worse. A new flashback, now with Olga and Sergei sitting on a bed. He speaks, in his own brownish, I think, text color, might I add, about how he won't let himself lose it again. He seems to be talking about the cube when he says it, as Olga seeing the cube triggers this flashback, but it's not told to us explicitly. Could also be that he was losing his cool, as his next lines are him saying how he wants to be forgiven, and that he's going to be careful chaining his heart. This is also an interesting explanation as to why he's so strict with his sister, and more specifically hit her hanging out with Yuri, who will be a future stalker. And we reach our final cut before the end of the song, one where Nikita, for the first time in the song, seems to be taking a positive outlook on things, talking about how the sun will rise, and how he'll see them on the other side, right before he's shot in the chest by a security guard, leading to Olga raising her hands and Yuri, who was told not to bring a gun, shooting the guard in the head. The group is discovered by more guards, they're arrested, and the song ends. Well, that was a hell of a cliffhanger. And yeah, that's all I'm going to be covering for the season. That's the end of the mill, the final song in season 1. Like always, I hope you enjoy the video, and be sure to check out Fairy's other work, support her songs, follow her Twitter or whatever. Do what you want to do if you enjoy the videos, and yeah, I'll be back, hopefully in not 2 months in between each video this time, with some more content soon. See ya.